information involved in this case. It's so funny they got my nickname on here, my AKA technology. I'm on the sheriff's department. I was trying to see the exact date of this incident on 8/16/2019. I had got beat up by this sheriff deputy named Jay Scarborough. And when I looked his name up recently, okay, let me start again. I didn't just get beat up, because I had this tablet with me, and well, it was broken because I was recording. With the exception of this, I'm sorry, I'm on 2 lives right now. But with the exception of the stain, this is how I got it back when it came out of property. And not only was it damaged in property, but it was in a totally different property area, along with my little prepaid debit card and stuff like that, which didn't work after I got them out. But normally when you got arrested, your property would be in booking. My property was not taken to booking. It was taken way over the Bartow Highway, where I wouldn't have been able to find it, immediately. And I think the reason behind it is that it's common practice that if you have a bond, that you could get a bondsman, you could sign over your property to the bondsman, and if you have money on your debit card or something like that, you can just get them to take out the money and bond you out. Now, what I found out about Jay Scarborough, a quick Google search, I don't know if I can see that, but it says, this is with ABC News, it says, man who recorded Polk deputy punching handcuffed suspect calls for body cameras after his own request. Now, I'm not that person. This is actually a different guy. But what it shows in the video is Jay Scarborough punching this dude in the face while he's handcuffed. So that's where we start. And to this day, apparently he currently resigned. But let me tell you about this story, because I was in jail for 50 days when this happened. And I didn't see not one public defender while I was in there. I actually had to get somebody to bond me out eventually after 50 days. And that's the only time that I've seen that public defender. And I went to court. Actually, I went to first appearance, and naturally, automatically have one then. But then I went to my next court date 30 days later, naturally, and he didn't show up. And I asked all the other public defenders, like when we got like down to the bottom of the barrel, 2 people left. I'm like, I don't see my public defender. Do you know what's going on with them? And this lady, she had long hair and glasses, and she was like, I don't know. I'll email them. She emailed them, and I basically just went in front of the judge with no legal counsel, and he didn't see me while I was in jail. I just seen him once I finally bonded out 50 days later. Now, so what happened was, I was walking down Old Hardin Boulevard, which is running towards Pipkin Road. I'll show you a picture. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what you can see because I don't know if I can switch it. Hold on, I don't know if I can switch it. But this little area right here There's no houses on either side. He came around from this side. He stopped the car like maybe right here. I'm down here, and he gets out the car. Immediately, I get out my tablet. Boop. Now my tablet had the keyboard on it, so when I pull it out like this, it looks like a laptop. You know? And he's shouting all this stuff, and I can't hear him because I had in my headphones, like I do now. And so apparently he pulled a gun or some more shit out on me. But when he finally got to me, he just knocked the shit out my hands and beat my ass. You feel me? And then he charged me with battery on a Leo, saying that I kicked him when he was putting me in a car. In the police report, he didn't mention me pulling out a laptop. He didn't mention any of that. He did mention he put a spit mask on me, but he didn't say I spat on him. Now, interested enough, in that video on an ABC News report, he claimed that the person he was arrested spat on him. But the real reason why he put the spit mask on me is because I was bleeding, and it was on my clothes and some more shit. It wasn't a lot. It was like drops of blood from like busted lip or nose or whatever. And so, and it was weird because I had just came from seeing a former acquaintance. I called him Jesse P. And he stayed over there by Lakeland Library. And then I walked back towards where I was staying, towards Pipkin Road. And that's, ironically, that's not the first time I left Jesse and I got arrested. That's another time. There's another time that's just as crazy, actually. But yeah, he beat my ass and he broke my damn property. And then he hid it all. And then my debit cards didn't work, which, I mean, I'm not saying a magnet was taken to it, but all you need is a magnet and go across the debit cards and they won't work anymore. So even if I did get somebody, like, I was supposed to sit there apparently. So that was weird. And then the time with Jesse, the time before that, I was charged with resisting arrest without violence and resisting arrest with violence. And then I sat in jail for 20 days that time. And then I was no bail, which means the state wasn't gonna pick it up. The weird part was I was in jail when I got the papers from the state attorney saying that all the charges are cleared. And it was signed like 3 days ago once I got it. And I'm showing my cellmates like, does this mean I should be out and outside? So I had to call somebody on the outside to call booking to tell booking that I shouldn't be in jail. Now, how did I get in jail that time? Crazy story. I was at this, 7-Eleven on Florida across from the pawn shop. And I was homeless at the time. And so shit, they had just threw away a bunch of food. And I went in to go get some of that shit. That shit was just thrown away and shit. And so I'm in an alley, and then he pulls up. This time it's a Lakeland police officer. And then I go to the front of the 7-Eleven where all the lights were. And he came out to the parking lot and drug me back to the alley. And I said, I want to stay out here where there's lights and stuff where everybody can see us. And he said, there's lights by my car back here, and it drags me to the alley, and that's that's where he gets rough with me and tased me and things like that. Like he's putting me under arrest for what, I don't know, but he's tasing me because I want to know what's going on, basically. And I lost some papers that day. Like I had a bunch of papers in my pocket because I had wrote another short story because I'm a writer. My short story wasn't in there. All my other papers were. Now, something you should know is that I wrote a short story maybe 10 years ago, an ebook that kind of criticized local law enforcement. My name's Zero W. Tucker. You can find it on Amazon if you want. And a lot of people didn't take too kindly to it, I guess. But it was basically some Black Lives Matter shit before Black Lives Matter was a thing. This was like right after the Occupy movement. Speaking of Occupy, another thing about Jesse was there at the damn Steak and Shake one night. It was me, him, and a guy named Brett. Brett Yu, we'll say. That is his last initial. And they were discussing and forming the Occupy Lakeland movement during the whole Occupy time. Maybe in 2011 or something like that. And I was doing a lot of Copwatch and videos and things like that. So, but it's just weird times. There was another time when an LPD officer is currently deceased. I didn't do it, by the way. I don't know who did it, but he took my damn thumbprint on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm asking him, do I have to do this? He's like, yes, you have to do this. I'm walking to the store, and he's like, we're looking for the guns and we're looking for the drugs. So I need your thumbprint. Put your thumbprint right here on the side of the road. And this is like also in like 2000, 2011, maybe 2010. And he took my thumbprint. And a year later, they found him deceased. He was shot, I guess, apparently. So there'd be a lot going on with Polk County law enforcement. I'd love to go into further detail. Then it was a raid, the wrong house raid. Apparently it was the wrong house. I mean, I didn't have nothing to do with it. I don't know about my baby mama. We had 4 kids in there. You know what I'm saying? It was a duplex. And they kicked in our motherfucking door with the battering ram and the flashbang grenades and the masked men and the assault rifles and the tactical shotguns. Shit like that. All my kids are in there. Ages like 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or 3, 4, 5, and 7. Something like that. And I just sit them all down in a line. Like, sit Indian style, lock your hands on your head. Don't move. And I knew better than to open up the damn door, but I ain't finna open up the damn door. You're gonna have to come in, because even if I try to open up the door politely, bitch, y'all finna knock me over the head and stomp all over me some more shit. I ain't opening the door. So they're bamming on one door, then they bam on the other door. And then get mad at me like I did something wrong. I was both LPD and on Polk County Sheriff's Department. That was pretty crazy. So there'd be a lot going on. I'd love to go in detail, but these are just some things that I wanted to document and just say out loud, you know. And that's weird. I don't know what Jesse be having going on or whatever, but I don't know, cause last couple of times, I hung out with him, they came and beat my ass for no goddamn reason and took me to jail and just held me there, just just held me in jail. You know what I'm saying? Put me in there with crazy people, you know. So Polk County, Polk County law enforcement. I'm not saying all of them. I never not once said all of them. I'm telling you about these specific ones. Not good people. Not good people at all. So that's that. I'm out in a pot right now, so I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, my battery dying and all that while doing that. I just wanted to make a note to self and document all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. I ain't going into too much detail. You know. Another time, the last time I got arrested, I got a DUI on a beach cruiser. That was fun. And I was barely on my beach cruiser. Like, I went to Skate World. I was going to make some videos, you know, Farrellero.com. See, Farrellero. And it was only like 10 minutes. 10 minutes left of operations for Skate World. So I go in there, and, you know, there's the booth, and there's nobody in the booth. So I'm waving at the camera, knocking on the window, like, yo, because I was already, like, the front door was unlocked. So I'm like, yo. Nobody came out, so I went to the next door, like, yo, is y'all open or closed yet or what? They were like, we closed. Because really, I just wanted to do a couple of laps, you feel me, on camera so I could edit it later, put on something else. I would have paid the $10, $15 or whatever for that. And then as soon as I leave, I get on my bike for 1 minute. Here come the police. You know what I'm saying? Step off the bike and shit. And now I just rode from Pipkin Road all the way down to Skate World, which is it's like a 4 or 5 mile ride. And he asked me to walk a straight line, which is kind of odd because I don't know. I mean, I was riding a bike. It's not like somebody relaxed driving a car and shit, and then you ask them to get out to walk a straight line. That's like asking somebody who's just been finished jogging, now walk a straight line. Somebody's riding exercise. Okay, now concentrate your legs and walk a straight line. Your shit gonna be a little wobbly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did have a couple beers, but shit, I wasn't drunk like that. And even I had a lock on my bike. I couldn't just lock on my bike and walk. I couldn't just call the Uber. And the very next day, that's when the stimulus checks had came out. The last stimulus check came, and I had two jobs, so I had got 2 checks and a stimulus check. So I had I got like a few grand. Had that not happened, but I probably would have just motherfucking left Lakeland. I would have left all this shit again. You know what I'm saying? But I bonded out the very next day. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to deal with that shit. And then they wanted me to, do the whole DUI probation. Like, no, I'm not doing that. That's dumb. So I didn't end up doing time for it. You know what I'm saying? I did 14 days maybe. So, and I have another DUI. My first DUI is from 10 years ago, but even if I get another DUI or some shit like that, even on a bike, it's gonna be a felony. I ain't got no felonies. You know, it's just petty as fuck. But shit, those are some of my stories that I just wanted to say. And you know, the weird thing is, when I went to see after Scarborough arrested me, and I went to court after 30 days, he wanted me to do like a ridiculous amount of time. Like, they wanted me to do like 90 days, and then probation. And he wanted me to do anger management classes. I'm the one that got beat up. And I was like, I wasn't stressing. I was like, I got him. I ain't worried about it because I got all that shit on tape. You feel me? I got all that shit on video. You feel me? Then I finally get my shit back. This bill won't turn on at all. You know what I'm saying? It won't turn on ever again. And it shouldn't have been like that because it should have just fell over. There's no way that it should have looked destroyed, But this is the same guy who got caught punching the shit out of somebody while they're in handcuffs. Was it the first? Probably was it the last? And he's probably just in another agency now. He's just because he resigned from the sheriff's department, he probably just went on probably the LPD or Bartow PD or some shit like that. So he's still out there. They don't really care about things like that. But it's the truth. And it's been going on like that for quite some time. I mean, I have more stories. I have more stories, man. Those are some of the ones that stick out that I wanted to be documented before, you know what I'm saying, things get really weird for me. So, if you're listening, thanks for listening. This is Pharaoh Arrow, Pharaoh.com. Peace and peace, y'all. Boop. Turn up. Okay, how do we end this thing? In video. Oops. Okay, I had to take care of the Instagram first, y'all. Oh, this also LPD. Down. Also LPD. We'll talk about that another time. I got out the very next day in first appearance, which almost never happens. He got me with a public intoxication on New Year's Eve at a bar. Somebody started some shit with me. And they just came and got me and beat the shit out of me once again. Like, I didn't do nothing. This dude was on me talking shit. And then the security, the bouncer or whatever the fuck he was, so he waved over the cops that just happened to be like right there. Cops right there. They was like, hey. Waved him over. You know what I'm saying? Grabs me up. My shoulders fucked up. Like, come on, bruh. Slammed the shit out of me. Naturally, he's 3 times my size. I'm 135 pounds. Not necessary. It's never necessary. I'm one of the smallest sizes a grown human male could be. You know what I'm saying? They're just petty and buddies and shit. You know what I mean? All because, and if you look up the ebook, you'll know. I mean, it is called Cop Killer Chronicles. But I wasn't talking about killing all cops. Just the one. It's actually a really good story. It's about a guy. He plays the lotto every week, faithfully, plays the same number, and then one time that he was stopped by the police, and the police was fucking with him for no reason, caused him to miss putting in his numbers. And those numbers came out, so we took it out on officers involved. Because he said, if I catch you out, matter of fact, that's what the guy who took my thumbprint, that's what he said to me. He said, I want you off these streets. After he takes my thumbprint, he said, I want you off these streets. And if I see you on these streets again tonight, you're going to jail. I will find something to bring you in on. I better not see you out again tonight. And I ain't even do shit. I don't do shit like that. You feel me? But this is on 2nd Street, and I'm like, what the fuck, bruh? That's the same area where my house got raided. You know what I mean? That's also time I was involved with the Occupy movement and making Copwatch videos and shit like that because they was out there harassing people and they still are, you know. So I've been a target ever since, but it's all good. I see myself as a hero. Can't take that from me. It is what it is. But yo, this is Ferrellero signing off. Peace.